What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Cinemazi. Today, I want to talk about something we've all probably thought about during those late night staring at the ceiling sessions. I'm talking about eternity, but not the abstract version you find in philosophy books. No, I mean the kind of eternity that's tangled up in our skin, our hearts, and our messy everyday relationships. Picture this for a second. You die, and in the afterlife, you're given a choice. A pure, unfiltered choice with zero social pressure, no religious judgment, and no right or wrong. They tell you that you can spend forever with anyone you want. So, who do you pick? Is it that burning, unfinished first love from your youth that's frozen in your mind as a perfect spark? Or is it the partner you actually spent 60 or 70 years with? You know, the one you grew old with, paid bills with, raised kids with, and honestly, sometimes drove each other absolutely crazy. The 2025 film Eternity puts us right in the middle of this deep psychological surgery. And today, I want to peel back the layers of this story. Stay with me until the very end, because we're going to arrive at a realization that might completely change how you look at the person sitting next to you right now. But before we dive in, do me a favor, drop a comment below. Would you choose unfinished perfection or exhausted reality? I'll be jumping in to read your thoughts.
Have you chosen your eternity?
So the story kicks off when Joan arrives in this in-between world. It looks a bit like a massive, infinite airport terminal. And here's the first detail you really need to notice. The moment she arrives, her hair reverts back to exactly how it looked when she was with Luke. Luke was her first love, the one whose life was cut short by an accident, which means they never had to deal with the boring parts of life. That hairstyle is so symbolic. It's like Joan still believes the version of herself that existed with Luke was the happiest version. You know, that young, carefree, soul on fire version. But on the other side, we have Larry, the man who actually lived through 65 years of reality with her. Now, what's fascinating about this afterlife is that cheating doesn't even exist anymore. Both men were her legal, loving husbands. So picking one isn't a moral failure, it's an existential one. And as we go deeper, you'll see how it uses a brilliant device called the archives to call out our own perfectionist brains. But first, just think about this. Luke waited 67 years for her in the afterlife. That's the classic fairy tale, loyal until the end love we're all taught to crave. But is it actually healthy? Let's look at those archives. They're these booths where you can watch memories of your life performed like a play. And if you're watching closely, you'll notice something jarring. Joan's memories with Luke only last a few minutes. It's just a highlight reel, a kiss in the rain, a beautiful laugh, a sunset. It's movie love because it was never tested by time. Luke is flawless because he never had the chance to be flawed. He never got sick, he never lost a job, and he never had a single annoying habit. On the other hand, watching the memories with Larry takes days. Literal days of talking, sitting in silence, raising kids, and bickering over mundane stuff. It forces us to ask, which one is more real? The few minutes of blinding light, or the thousands of hours of ordinary gray? Stick with me here, because this is where the movie's world building gets really interesting. You see, everyone in the afterlife gets to choose their own eternal realm. Luke chose this stunning, Instagram-perfect mountain paradise. It's quiet, it's lush, it's exactly what we imagine heaven to be. But in this paradise, you are required to be happy. It's toxic positivity on an eternal scale. When Joan starts to act like herself, complaining or feeling tired, Luke tells her she's always nagging. It's the exact same thing Larry used to be said on Earth. It proves that even in a perfect heaven, your core personality doesn't change. Luke is a perfectionist who wants a trophy wife for his trophy paradise. He loves the idea of Joan, not the actual messy human being she is. Now compare that to Larry's choice. Larry picks a crowded beach. It's noisy, there are lines for everything, and at one point while he's trying to kiss Joan, a kid's ball hits him right in the face. Honestly, this is the most important scene in the movie. Why would Larry, who was a grumpy, conservative old man on Earth, pick a chaotic beach for eternity? Because Larry wants life, not a museum. He understands that love without friction, without those little annoying interruptions, isn't actually love. It's just a simulation. That ball hitting him in the face, that means this eternity is alive. But then Joan says something that honestly shook me to the core. She says, love stays beautiful because it has the potential to end. Think about that for a second. If something lasts forever, without any risk or any limit, do we eventually just stop trying? Is the beauty of love tied to its fragility? This leads her to almost choose a third option, eternal Paris with a friend, just to escape being someone's wife forever. But then we see Larry's ultimate sacrifice. When Larry realizes Joan is still clinging to that Luke version of herself, the one symbolized by her hair, he does something incredible. He steps back. He says, I just want you to be happy. And instead of going to his beach paradise with her, he stays behind in the in-between world to become a bartender. Larry, the man who spent 65 years by her side, becomes a silent observer. He chooses to spend eternity behind a bar, just so she can be free to choose. Luke waited 67 years to possess her. Larry gives up his eternity to liberate her. And here is the massive twist in the finale that I haven't seen many people talking about. We actually see Joan try to live out her eternity with Luke. We see the happily ever after. But the movie never shows us what the eternity with Larry would have looked like. In a strange way, their roles completely swap. On Earth, Joan lived with Larry and fantasized about Luke. Now in the afterlife, she lives with Luke only to realize how suffocating that perfection is. Luke, who never got to experience a real life, finally gets one, while Larry becomes that distant what-if love sitting at the bar. Ultimately, Joan realizes that mountain paradise is just a beautiful prison. She misses the crowded beach. She misses the ball hitting her in the face. She misses the archive of her life that took days to watch because every boring second of it was earned. She learns that we don't fall in love with perfect people. We fall in love with the history we build with someone. Eternity is a reminder that perfection is the cemetery of intimacy. If you're looking for a flawless relationship, you're looking for something dead. Real life happens in the cracks, the flaws, and the repetitive daily grind. Joan's final choice isn't just about picking a man. It's about choosing reality over the dream. It's a return to the same city they lived in, but with the realization that the miracle wasn't the afterlife. The miracle was the 65 years they survived together on Earth. Thanks for sticking with me through this session. This movie really makes you look at your partner a little differently, doesn't it? So let's settle it in the comments. If you found out your legendary first love was actually kind of boring after 1,000 years of perfection, would you have the courage to go back to your messy, ordinary reality? I really want to hear your take on this. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to CinemaZ. We've got plenty more films to dissect and worldviews to challenge. Until next time, take care of the eternity in your everyday moments. Catch you in the next one.